Good evening and welcome to the Gary Goff Show here on WTTF, Cool FM 93.3 and WTTF.com. My name is Russ Snyder alongside Tiffin University head coach Gary Goff. Coach, how are you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great.
Coming in after a big victory on this past Saturday against Notre Dame College. We'll jump into that. Huge day for one of your wide receivers who we're going to get a chance to talk to today too, Mr. Obadiah Dykes. And then as well, Coach Yeast is going to join us.
Correct.
And we'll talk about the week that was in the GLIAC. We'll talk about the week that's coming up in the GLIAC. Some special recognition for the Tiffin University football program this week as well. So lots to get to here on this version of the Gary Goff Show. First, we'd like to thank all of our sponsors for making the show possible. Tiffin Ace Hardware, the Animal Hospital of Tiffin. CF Professionals Incorporated, Gary Gruse's office. The Ohio Mutual Insurance Group, Jim Kennedy's office. State Farm Insurance, Ed Lape's office, and Steyer Seeds. Well, Coach, big victory, GLIAC victory this past weekend over Notre Dame College here at Frost Cow Stadium. Dragons are 27-22 victors. Felt pretty good to get that big GLIAC victory this year, huh?
Oh, definitely. You know, our kids, you know, they have been working hard day in, day out, and even though the scores haven't always showed that in the early part of the season, been very proud of the way they come to the office every day and the way they practice and continue to work hard. And you know, we finally found a way to close the door and get a win. And you know, it's just it feels good to come into work after win. The kids are excited, and you know, it's good to see that the hard work pays off.
Yeah, I saw you down there smiling after the game, shaking hands with some folks. I could tell you were pretty happy.
Oh, definitely, definitely. So, but it's good to see the young guys growing up.
Sure.
And, you know, the last 4 weeks, really, we've been right in the ballgame until the very end, and we just, you know, for some reason or another, a mistake here or there, we've found our way out of that ball game. So it was good to get a team win in a game that was close all the way to the end and find a way to get a victory.
Had some offensive players put up some big numbers, had some defensive players come up huge. Your goal line stand was huge for your team. Brian McCorkle knocking people around. I mean, he was popping kids this weekend. And so all kinds of great positives to bring out of this game. Obadiah Dykes. He's going to be on the program later on to chat with us. The sixth best yardage game in the history of Tiffin University football. Only 5 games better, and they're all from one player. His name's Nate Washington. He's playing in the NFL, so huge game for Obadiah.
That's pretty good company.
Absolutely.
Obadiah is a clutch player for us. You know, the sky's the limit for this young man. You know, there's probably about 5 other catches that if he'd have made in the game, which are really tough catches, that if he'd have made them, he'd have been well over 250 maybe. You know, but I'll tell you what, there at the very end of the game when we're trying to run out the clock, he makes a great catch on 3rd and 14 and really helps us ice the game right there.
He seems like the comfort zone guy for the quarterbacks when he's out on the field. It's a little bit different the week before when he wasn't there. It just seems like the offense is a little more comfortable when Obadiah's on the field.
Oh, no question, because you know you got a receiver that you can go to, you know, and you know, trust me, the quarterbacks know that. You know, if you don't have your big target on the field, they, you know, kind of want to know where to go with football sometimes.
Sure, absolutely. So, Obadiah with 10 catches, 194 yards, 1 touchdown. Now, not all those yards come from quarterback Dan Pitts, but how many? 69 of those yards come from wide receiver Pedro Correa on an end around. He put the ball up in the air, and if you would have not made Obadiah wait on it, that would have been a touchdown pass.
Oh, no question. You know, I'll tell you what, Notre Dame did a good job. You know, we've ran the football very well probably the last 3 weeks. And, you know, we went into this game plan wanting to run the football. And, you know, they pretty much kept 8 guys in the box and really took away the run from us. So, you know, we got creative right there. And the good thing for us is we got 2 receivers that play for us that were ex-high school quarterbacks.
Yeah, you kept that one a surprise to me. I didn't know about that one.
Yeah, you know, we can't let all our secrets out.
No.
You know, we worked on that play a little bit last year and then some in the camp this year, and it was time to pull it out. And I tell you what, he stood in the pocket and threw a great pass for us downfield to Dykes.
Well, you talked about, you know, you're wanting to get your running game going. Notre Dame College did a really good job of containing Dominic White as well as James Hall when he was in the game too.
No question. I mean, you know, hey, running backs were excited all week because we were in a lot of 2-backs, and we planned on running the football, you know, quite effectively because we did against Findlay, and we did some other games prior to that. So, you know, with Dan Pitts being in there, who has played great. I mean, he really has. But having your backup quarterback in there, you want to, you know, kind of make things easier on him, get the run game going, and not ask him to make a lot of plays. But, you know, they took that away from us early, and we had to adjust. And Dan did a great job stepping in and making some huge throws downfield for us, and really took over the offense and ran it.
He was 25 of 40, 1 interception, 294 yards, 3 touchdowns. I know from talking to you in the past, you'd like that completion percentage up there a little bit higher than that. But all in all, like you said, he played a pretty darn good game.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we shoot for coming out of a ball game being about 70% completion percentage. And, typically we want to throw for at least 400 yards in a game and then rush for another 150 for a perfect game. But the season, as well as some of the plans going into a game, you got to adapt. And,
absolutely.
But I tell you what, Notre Dame, they came into the game averaging 35 points a game. They've got a very potent offense, and defensively they've struggled a little bit. They came in giving up 56 points a game. And a lot of that coming from Grand Valley, who I think scored 83 points.
Yeah.
But, I thought Notre Dame had a great game plan coming in. We had to adjust, and offensive side we had to adjust. And I think our defense did a great job. We gave them some different fronts and different looks and pressured the quarterback a little bit. And you mentioned Byron McCorkle had a great hit that forced a fumble early in the ball game that kind of set the tone.
Sure.
So I thought we did a good job of taking them out of what they wanted to do on both sides of the football.
And how nice was it for you to see your defense make that goal line stand too? I mean, the struggles the defense had last year is well documented, and this year you've seen the improvement. I mean, it's night and day, excuse me. How nice is it to see them stand up there big for you on the goal line?
Oh, it's great. I tell you what, defensively we're playing a lot of young guys over there too. We got a lot of guys who are playing. We
saw some freshmen on the defensive line get a little bit of rotation in this week we hadn't seen in the past.
We got some guys on that side of the ball that it's their first college start. But, I tell you what, on that side of the football, we are fundamentally sound. We have a system. We've got answers for some adjustments that offenses might make. We just are a little young. That's it. Yeah. So, I think the entire program from top to bottom, everybody knows that we're doing the right things, and it shows on the defense side of the ball because our schemes work. It's just, we needed some of those freshmen to get in the weight room for about a year. But that goal line stands was great, and it kind of set the tone for the rest of the game for our defense.
Absolutely.
They bent it a few times, but I tell you what, they didn't break.
Yeah, you talk about freshmen really set up big for you on the defense side of the ball. I think Kyle Finch, his improvement throughout the year, he's a guy who you talk about getting a little bit of weight on. You get some muscle and some mass on that kid, he's going to be a monster.
Yeah, he gets blocked sometimes by bigger and stronger players, but I tell you what, you'll see him get blocked downfield one play, but the next play he's in the backfield making a tackle for a 5-yard loss. And I tell you what, Finch, love that kid to death because he plays with a chip on his shoulder. There's no quit in him, and he's a fighter. So, we're going to win a lot of football games because of him being on that side of the ball.
Well, an upperclassman on your defense side of the ball who the injury bug seems to be looking for him every week. Logan Snell got banged up a little bit again this week. He's been your big play guy on the defense all year for you, but, man, it's like the injury bug hunts him.
There's no quit. Well, this time of season, I don't think
everybody's beat up a little bit.
Everybody's beat up, and I think every program's got injuries. But I tell you what, Snell is he's a warrior. He is a warrior, and when he went down, when I walked out on the field, he's laying there and he says, I'm done. He had thought he had snapped his pulled his hamstring again. But so I help him off the field with a trainer, and I think nothing else. I'm moving on. I thought he was done. I look out there the next play, and he's making a tackle. I'm asking Coach, is that Snell? He goes, yeah, he's fine, Coach. So even if he did tear his hamstring, I know the young man's going to go right back.
He's going to give it a shot. Absolutely. Well, your defense played, I believe Pedro Powell was leading the league in rushing average per game, over 150 yards. He got 118 against you kids, but it took him 28 carries to get there. So, I mean, he got his yards, but, boy, you guys sure made him work for it.
I tell you what, he's a strong runner. He's a great player. And, we knew that we had to stop him. Make them beat us with the pass. And that was our game plan going in for the defense side of the ball. And they did a great job. He broke, I think, maybe 1 or 2 long runs. But other than that, you didn't notice him.
Sure.
And he might have got a couple yards here and there on some carries. But defense did a great job, and hats off to those guys. We gave them a lot of different fronts and different looks that they hadn't seen throughout the course of the season. So, I think that helped.
Absolutely. And one player on their team on the offensive side of the ball who you couldn't help but notice was wide receiver Jack Foy. They kept hitting him on those swing passes and using his athletic ability. He had some quick feet, man. He was a tough little guy out there.
He was definitely. And, again, I think our corners did a good job of fighting off blocks and making those tackles in the backfield. I think they might have popped one screen right there that we didn't get to. But, that was
their bread and butter. You could tell. I mean, that's their go-to.
Well, and you could tell early that that they were running a zone play that we had changed the front on early in the game, and then they never came back to it. So, again, it's a great job by our defense side for making some adjustments right there in the course of the week.
Well, the Dragons got on the scoreboard first at the 4:04 mark of the first quarter. A 5-play, 64-yard drive took 1:55 seconds. Seth Pico, a 27-yard field goal. And in those conditions on Saturday, kicking field goals is no easy match.